Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. You know, life was a lot simpler when we were kids. You either liked some foods or you didn't. Or you liked some things or you just didn't. This is when all your interests and dislikes start to build when you're a kid. Another thing that develops when you're a kid is your fears. And in this video, I'm going to discuss and go into 6 things that terrified me as a kid. Let's get into this. Starting off the list at number 6, we have motels. Yes, motels. Now, motels still kind of creep me out, but as a kid, I was terrified of them. When me and my family would go somewhere for vacation, we'd stay at them. I think the reason why they really scared me was because of the doors that connect rooms together. Every time I would go to sleep, I always thought someone was going to come to that door and watch me sleep in the middle of the night. Even now, when I go to them, I see the door and I just put a chair in front of it to jam the handle, so I know for sure no one will come in. Another thing that scared me about motels that doesn't anymore was the fact that the motel manager or the person at the front desk has a spare copy of your room key. I think it started when we checked in, and the guy at the motel at the counter gave me the creeps. I mean, he was probably a regular guy, but I was like 8, so I didn't know. Now, motels don't bother me. I mean, they are creepy. The neon sign glowing in the dead of silence while everyone's sleeping. Yeah, definitely creepy. Now, moving on to number 5, we have Minecraft. Now, maybe some people might say, Minecraft? What's scary about Minecraft? Well, despite it being a game about mining and building, Minecraft can be scary, especially old Minecraft. When I was a kid, I remember playing for the first time and it was really fun. I got into the game more and discovered caves. Now that's when the terror started. Minecraft caves terrified me as a kid because of the mobs and the darkness. But what really got me was getting lost. I would put torches on the path where I started to descend in the cave, but one time I broke a block and water came through and destroyed the torches, and I was really lost. My swords were all wood. I mean, I was a kid. I didn't know how to get better weapons. I was lost in there for like forever, and was really scared because of the zombie noises and not knowing if I would ever make it out. My brother had to help me, and eventually I made it, but that was the last time I played survival mode. After that, I just stuck to creative. The next one is an odd one, and it's the first brief thing that scared me as a kid. Reason why is because it was the idea of it that scared me. Coming in at number 4, we have the Ginger Dead Man movie. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's a horror movie about a killer gingerbread man who just kills. Now, I've never seen this movie, so why would I be terrified of it? Well, I was about 9 or 10, and I remember walking around in Walmart at the gaming section, and you know how the movies are right next to it. So I wandered in that aisle of movies, and the cover of the movie scared me. Obviously, looking at it now, it's a stupid, funny slasher movie. But that was not the case when I was younger. I went home that night, and I could not get the gingerbread man's evil, ugly face out of my head. I will never forget his face, nor that movie. It will always be a part of me. Sticking to the movie theme, coming in at number 3, we have Coraline. Now, like many others, this movie terrified me as a kid. Now, I can appreciate it as a fantastic film with a beautiful stop-motion animation, but as a kid, this movie was horrifying for the creepy settings and the other mother. I think what really scared me was the scene where Coraline couldn't get back to her own dimension because she had to save the other children's eyes. The fact that she had to go through all those trials and not mess up, and on top of that, you have the other mother coming after you and was trying to make her give up, that was pretty scary. Then, you have the characters. When the button dimension was falling apart and everyone was showing their true selves, the 2 ladies living downstairs morphed into a multicolored tangled monster. Then it was also really creepy when the other Mr. Bobinski turned into a living rat's nest. And when the father was a blob, I just found out that he was a pumpkin. I never knew that. I thought he was just a fat guy. The scariest part though was when the other mother transformed into a spider. I think that's what really got me. And when she was screaming at Coraline to come back to her. Even the opening credits of the movie already were eerie. When Coraline's doll was being made, the music did a great job of somehow feeling like the scene the movie was in. It was somehow relaxing and creepy at the same time. I couldn't finish watching the movie as a kid. I would get up to the part where she first meets the other mother, and I would stop watching. But really good movie. Highly recommend if anyone hasn't seen it. Getting close to the end here. At number 2, we have an odd one. It's also brief too. Adult Swim's late night weird commercial. These were terrifying as a kid. I would be watching Family Guy, which I know I shouldn't have been at the age of 8, and out of nowhere, a creepy commercial started to play, and it would scare the hell out of me. Then I would turn off the TV and try to go to sleep, but it would be very difficult. I remember some of them very vaguely, so cut me some slack if I mix some of these up. But one that kind of stuck with me was a guy who was bleeding from his ears and his eyes, and eerie music was just playing. It lasted for about 10 seconds. Another bump, as it's termed, was popular. It was a woman who was laughing and screaming at the camera, but as blood was spewing out of her mouth, and her laughing got louder and louder, and then she just stopped. I think it was like for a show or something. So when Cartoon Network would switch off, I already knew what was coming. I would immediately change the channel to Disney Channel, since nothing like that would ever be on there. When I got older, I found out that Adult Swim would put those bumps on purpose to scare kids away, which obviously worked. Finally, at number 1, we have COD Black Ops 1 Zombies. Now, this mode was terrifying. The regular game was so fun, but the zombies was another story. Immediately, when you switch the mode from campaign or multiplayer to zombies, the entire screen turned red, and the iconic zombies themed Damned started to play. And then, the TV screens would play old war footage, and some from in-game and real world, and some disturbing old asylum patient footage. And this was already scary to me, and the game hasn't even started. Sometimes I would build up the courage, and once I was in the zombies menu, it would immediately go away. But, finally, one time I was home alone, and I said enough is enough. I turned on my Xbox and said to myself, it's just a game. I switched to zombies mode and selected solo. At this point, no DLCs had been released yet, so I didn't even know about the hidden map 5 either. So, the only map I had was Kino der Toten. This map was scary. I remember I hyped myself up to play it, and I couldn't get past round 6, not because of my lack of skills, but because of my lack of bravery. The map was so quiet, you can hear the zombies moaning and walking beyond the walls. Then, they start to break the wood down, and all you have for a weapon is a pistol that's useless after round 3. I turned off my Xbox, and was so paranoid for the rest of the day, until my mom came back home, and I was relieved, and I felt very safe. I can make an entire video looking back at zombies, because it was a big part of my life and other people's too. And that's the list. Maybe some people can relate to these, maybe not, but this is what terrified me as a kid. I had fun making this video. It was a nice nostalgic trip. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next one. Peace.